All right, listen. I used to play basketball, and I remember I played the position between shooting guard, power forward, small forward, whatever, whatever you name it, I was willing to play it. And one of the times I was playing the game, and I remember my coach came to us, was giving a little pep rally, trying to get us together. He said, "Hey, get your head in the game. Get your head in the game. Get your head in the game. Get your head in the game." I was like, man, what does he mean by that? I wasn't playing my best. I was finding myself coming up short. My shots wasn't falling in place. I wasn't moving with the normal flow of the game. I was out on the floor, and all I knew is that I was there ready to shoot the ball, play defense, do whatever I have been doing up to now. And I realized to that moment when he told me to put my head in the game, I lost the game. Yeah, I lost the game. And I'm not talking about loss because we scored a certain amount of points or didn't score a certain amount of points. I lost the game because for the first time, I put thought in the game that I never put in before. I didn't understand what he mean by put my head in the game because I thought I was in the game. Let's talk about it. The realistic approach that I'm talking about now is understanding that the coach gave me most valuable tool that I ever could get when he said, get your head in the game. When he talked to me about getting this in the game of basketball, in the game of sport, it challenged me because I had to take the time and evaluate how I went about playing the game. I had to sit back and think about what was the fundamentals that I did or what I didn't do to score or shoot or play defense. I had to look at the whole game while playing the game. For the first time, I realized that my God-given talents needed a boost. My God-given talents, my ability to play basketball needed a boost. So up to this point, all I was doing was going through the steps and procedures that I've done over years and years of playing the sport. But it wasn't until then that I realized I have met my max. I can't go any further than this without learning this one tool. So after the game was over, I went to the coach. I said, "What did you mean by getting my hand?" He said, "You're playing like you're not here. You were just going through the motions. You were running through the drills, but you wasn't executing." I said, "But I thought I was. I scored maybe 20 points that game." "But you could have scored more," he said. I said, "But is it all about scoring?" I said, "I had 2 blocks, 3 steals. I thought I had a great game." He said, "But you could do better." So from that point, I began to sit back and I wondered, and how better could I have done this? I practice, I drills, I do this, I do that. And I realized that it was my ability that kept me going. My mind was never focused on the game. Maybe when I shoot a free throw, I take the time and I focus to try to make sure of these, or a jumper. But after a while, it just falls into a pattern. And that's what carried me up to this point. Can you just imagine that you've scored these, you shoot at these, you're making points, you're doing this, you're doing that, just to realize that you're still not meeting the goals and objective of the team or what the team is needing? For me, I felt like I was letting the team down. So then I began to sit back and I thought on, what does that mean to get my head in the game? So automatically I began to read and try to see what Michael Jordan did. At that time, he was the most popular sports athlete that I knew, and he was the only one that I knew access. And I used to read little articles that he would have these quotes and he would say different things. And I realized that this dude knows the game. I mean, not only did he understand his position, but he knew about different calls and different plays. He knew about fouls and where to take the ball at. He knew the whole entire layout of the basketball game. I didn't know that. I didn't know how a referee would call a foul for this. I didn't know, I knew the 3 seconds and things like that, but I didn't know if the ball was knocked out of bounds at this place, where they would come in, the ball would be passed in under the goal versus to the side. I didn't know that we'll have back door, front door, side door, whatever door. All this stuff I didn't know, but I needed to know because I wasn't gonna let my coach come and tell me, get back in the game. So then I realized that I need to stop and do more of what I'm doing now. I became inquisitive. And I realized that in order for me to have a better performance on the floor, I need to understand all the obstacles that I would be facing. And the greatest obstacle that I faced was not knowing what was expected of me other than shooting, dribble, playing. I got the basis of it, but I had to be more of a leader. I had to be more of a voice. I had to be more seen as someone that they could depend on. I had to have other teams fear me because of my ability to shoot or pass or drive. But I had to make them feel like they had to do more to kind of stop me from achieving my goals. So I had to try and figure out how to go by doing that. And I did that by studying the game. Why am I saying this to you all? The same thing I'm sharing with you is the same challenges that you are facing now. Many of us have God-given abilities and talents. And that goes from an athlete to an entrepreneur to the top sailor. We all have ability to do, but we can do greater, because once we get our mindset, we start analyzing all the requirements that is needed, then we start making wiser decisions, and then our body becomes to line up with what's needed, what's required, and we have the information and knowledge to teach ourselves to get in the game, to stay in the game by doing self-evaluations. Look at our mental toughness. Look at our determination. Look at our willingness to achieve. Look at the goals and objectives that we set. We need to look at all of that. And then we need to find a way to bring harmony between our mind, our heart, and our spirit and our soul. We have to be able to get ourselves to a place of calmness that we can understand the strategies that we may face, the obstacles that may come up, and how we play a key part in utilizing these challenges, these situations, and we find a way to offset them so that we can reach our maximum potential. I just gave you a quick snapshot of what I went through dealing with getting my head in the game, to understand that there are more practical exercises, mental toughness, mental awareness, mental structures that is needed in order to help me. So as I begin to develop these skills, I start maximizing my potential by learning that there were certain things that I could not achieve, but those things that I could, I work even harder to perfect them. I became driven. I became in tune with my body. I became in tune with my thoughts. And I knew that when I went out on the floor, I knew everything that I was facing and what was required of me, and I was ready to execute. Meeting your maximum potential, extending your performance, is causing yourself to be ready to execute when the demand is placed upon you. And I want to encourage you all to do this. And this is what we do at One Movement LLC. We try to help you to identify some of your most challenging situations, your roadblocks, your hindering factors that do come about, and how to show you how to become encouraged and motivate. Of course, I can't motivate you, but I can extremely encourage you to want to do more when you can identify the problems, the situations that you're facing that will hold you back from reaching your potential, to maximize your effort, to maximize your focus, and to get you into a place where you eventually learn mental awareness, but most of all, mental toughness, to show you that you can do it. You can do whatever you set your mind to. At least take it to the point where you've done all you can, and other factors must have come into play, fine. But at least you get it to the point where you can say, I've done my very best, and I presented all, that I could to make sure that I achieve my objective and goals. So if you're looking for someone to help you along the way, to hold you accountable, to strategically work with you to come up with the mindset that is needed for you to perform at a better level, reach out to me or visit our website at onemovementllc.com. Again, that's onemovementllc.com. You can reach out to me by email at james@onemovementllc.com. And look at, while you're there on the website, look at the different options that we have. And if there's not one that fits you, please reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to create a package that will support your desires and your need for your personal self. From athlete to successful business persons, to entrepreneurs up and coming, or just you as an individual who wants to see yourself excel at a higher level, even as mom cooking. I'm ready to take on that challenge as well, if that's what it takes to help you along the way. So we look forward to talking to you. And hey, hit that like button or thumbs up and let us know that you like us, and subscribe so that you can stay attuned to these classes or sessions that I bring about to help you to identify some ways to improve your overall performance. Until I talk to you again, this is Coach Jay. Take care.